Hello students, welcome to this online class. My name is Roshan, your geography teacher, and you're here in this channel Learn Geography with Roshan. We have discussed two modes of transport, that is roadways and railways. I hope you are revising or learning the advantages and disadvantages of roadways and railways. In this video, we shall discuss about airways. Airways is one of the most important transport that is becoming so popular. So let us start airways. Air transport is the fastest mode of transport. It has reduced geographical distances and brought the world closer. So it is one of the most important transport because it is the fastest mode of transport. Underline this sentence, that is the fastest means of transport. The air transport was nationalized in 1853. The Airports Authority of India (AAI) was formed on 1st April 1995 by merging the International Airports Authority of India and National Airports Authority. So in 1995, the International Airports Authority of India and National Airports Authority of India got merged. It was done with a view to accelerate the integrated development, expansion, and modernization of the operational, terminal, and cargo facilities at the airports in the country, conforming to international standards. So, what was the main motto of starting the operations of these airports? To accelerate integrated development and expansion and modernization of the country, and to standardize international level of the country. So now let's discuss about the airport classification. The airports have been classified into three. The first one is international airports, the second one is domestic airports, and the third one is Pawan Hans Helicopters Limited. So let's discuss one by one to these classifications. The first one, international airports. Foreign airlines carrying international passenger traffic to and from India existed long before independence. Their operations are governed by bilateral agreement signed from time to time. Bilateral agreement means the country is having mutual agreement with the other countries. They have the terms and conditions to operate the airlines. The international service is managed by Air India, as the private operators are allowed to operate only within the country. So private operators are allowed to operate only within the country. The next one is second one, that is domestic airports. Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Goa, Varanasi, Patna, Agra, Jaipur, Amritsar, Tiruchirappalli, Coimbatore, and Lucknow are customs airports with limited international operations by national and the foreign tourist and cargo charter flights. So these are the limited international airports. There are the famous airports in India which are internationally connected, that is Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai. Right. So Indian Airlines is the major air carrier of the country. So what is the main role of the Indian Airlines? It is the major carrier of the country. It operates 5 to 7 domestic stations. I suppose it operates more than 81 domestic stations. Total it has 125 airports in India, and 81 is domestic stations, 11 are international airports, and there are some airports which are managed by the defense field. And the 17 international stations in the 14 countries, and Indian Airline is mainly connected more than 55 countries internationally. The domestic scene is now dotted with private airlines, as the government has now ended the monopoly of Indian Airlines. So the government has allowed the private airlines to come and start their operations, their business. Some of the leading domestic private airlines are Air Sahara, Jet Airlines and Air Deccan. These are some of the leading private airlines in India. There are many more like Indigo, then SpiceJet, then Go Air, Indigo, Vistara. These are the different airlines operated in India, international and the domestic. And these are the leading domestic private airlines, that is Air Sahara, Jet Airways and Air Deccan. Third one is Pawan Hans Helicopters Limited. It has been providing helicopter support services to the petroleum sector. Mainly it provides support and services to the petroleum sector, including ONGC and Oil India Limited. Apart from these, it also provides services to certain state governments and public undertakings and northeastern states. Underline this one. It also provides services to certain state governments. So during the natural calamities like floods or epidemics or war situations, these helicopters are also used and help given services to certain state governments. The development of airports is no longer solely under the private sector. Instead, private participation is allowed and encouraged. So it's no longer the only a private person can operate, but it is encouraged. Instead, it is encouraged to participate and allowed to open private airlines. An international greenfield airport has been developed in Cochin, Kerala, with the contribution from NRIs and loans from financial institutions. So in Kerala, an international greenfield airports have been developed in Kerala and with the contribution of NRIs, non-resident of India, and the loan that is contributed from the financial institutions. Here there are few international airports. You can refer the table and learn these international airports. Some of them are asked with the examples, a few of them, and then the location where it is. Now let's see about the advantages of the airports. The very important advantages. You need to learn all the means of transport. Advantages and disadvantages are very important, and then they are compared with each other, so that comparisons and differences, you should know it. The first advantages of airport is that airways are the fastest mode of transport. Although expensive, the surface transport cannot match the air transport over long distances. So airways are faster and they are expensive. Though they are expensive, they are faster than any other means of transport. So it is preferably becoming more popular, and it cannot compete with all other transport. It is mainly preferred to travel long distances. Then we have the airways are free from geographical contrast like mountains, rivers or ocean. So they can cross natural barriers very easily. So airways are free from natural barriers like mountains, rivers or oceans. They can cross very easily. Then we have third point. It has great strategic importance as soldier arms, ammunitions can be airlifted to the troubled ports. So the arms and the soldiers and the ammunitions can be airlifted and transported by the airways. The fourth advantages of airlines is air transport is indispensable for the business people. It is very necessary for the business people. For defense people, especially during calamities like earthquakes, floods, epidemics and war situations. So airways are very important for the business people because they provide quick help in natural calamities, and it is to promote medical emergency. Alright, so they provide quick help during the natural calamities and they promote medical emergency. Because of that, air travel is indispensable. That is very necessary for the business people and for the situation during the calamities. Despite its exorbitant rules, air travel has been gaining popularity as airways are the fastest means of transport it is more comfortable and saves time. Underline this one. Despite its exorbitant roles, the exorbitant roles means it is very expensive and not affordable. So despite it is expensive or very cost, it is becoming very popular. Often asked in the examinations, please underline this one. Why, despite of exorbitant fare, why the airlines are becoming so popular? It is because it is the fastest mode of transport. First one is, it is because fastest mode of transport, it is more comfortable and saves time. Another point you can add it that the entry of private airlines, they offer attractive schemes and have reduced the airfare. So because of these reasons, the airways are becoming so popular. Air transport is most important in the accessible areas of hilly regions. So remember that it is the most accessible for hilly areas. Then air transport is most important in northeast region of India, where it is the only mode of transport because it is difficult terrain. That is, in the northeast part of India, the hilly areas are there. So more air transport is preferred. And because of the open policy, there are some few advantages you can note down. It's because of the open policy, then it is highly valuable. The policy of lightweight are the few advantages of this air transport. Now let's see about the disadvantages of air transport. The first one, competition. The airlines are facing stiff competition from foreign airlines which provide efficient and the better services. So they are facing the competition between the foreign airlines, which the foreign airlines provide efficient and the better services. So this is one of the disadvantages of air transport. Second one, lack of funds. The old aircrafts, that is more than 20 years, obsolete machinery and poor maintenance reflect on the mismanagement and efficiency of the authorities as well as the government. This reflects on their poor standards as compared to the international standards. So the poor funds, the funds are not being given by the government to the aircrafts which are very old, which can be renovated, which can be upgraded and updated. So that is one of the poor maintenance. That is a sign of disadvantages of this air transport. The third one is poor quality of service. The poor quality of service provided by the Indian Airlines and Air India is resulting in constant fall in traffic as well as tariff. The poor quality of service is one of the most important disadvantages of air transport. Then high cost. The air transport is expensive. Underline the word expensive, or it is costly. The airlines tend to serve only a particular sector who can afford the exorbitant fares. These fares are normally beyond the reach of common men. So it is unaffordable by the common man. Underline this one. You can write, you can make this a separate point. Unaffordable by the common man because of the exorbitant fares, high expensive fare. Strikes. The regular strikes in the airlines are also responsible for damaging their reputations. Public prefers to try alternatives. So regular strikes will be there, and that is the airlines are losing their reputations, and the people prefer to travel by other mode of transport. It is very important for airlines to bring up the standard of the quality by efficient service and provide for better amenities in order to compete with the international standards. So in order to compete international standards, the Airlines of India has to provide better efficient facilities, better facilities and efficiency of the employees that they are working. Aviation's technology is changing very fast, but our planes are outdated and not very safe. So aviation's technologies are day by day improving, developing, but our planes are outdated. So that has to be upgraded and updated. In air transport, risks are increasing day by day due to crime, terrorism, violence and hijacking all over the world. So due to these reasons like crime, terrorism, hijacking and the violence, the popularity or there is a risk of traveling by airlines. Aircraft cannot carry bulky, heavy equipment and goods. It is open sky policy and policy of lightweight. So because of that, what happens? The aircrafts cannot carry bulky or heavy equipments and goods. Is one of the most important demerit of the or disadvantages of the airport, transport. The recent entry of the private airlines, their various attractive schemes have reduced the airfares drastically. Hence, people use airways despite being an expensive mode of transport. Underline this one, very, very important. Why the air transports becoming so popular? Because the new recent private airlines have entered and they provide various attractive schemes and reduced their fare to attract the passengers. So that has become one of the most important popularity of air transport. Now, the problems facing the aviation sector of India. What are the problems facing the aviation sector of India? The first one is high operational cost, high cost of aviation's turbine fuel, high service tax and other charges, shortage of maintenance facilities, high foreign exchange rate, competition from foreign airlines, congestions at airports, lack of qualified pilots, efficient technical manpower. Air transport is adversely affected at the occurrence of fog, mist and stormy weather. So these were the few problems that the aviation sector of India faces. And learn all these points. These are given very easily to remember and memorize it. Hope you understood the concept of this airways, and thank you for watching this video so patiently, and hope you would ask questions, any doubt, any queries you have, leave your comments in YouTube for appreciations and ask questions in the WhatsApp. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. All the best.